Welcome, all you Geminis, to your weekly energy update. And this week, instead of presenting these readings by each of the elements like fire signs, water signs, etc., Spirit wanted me to actually do the weekly energy update by each zodiac sign. Not sure if they're going to have me doing that going forward, but I'm excited to do it this week. And this, of course, is for all of my Geminis, regardless of where it is at in your chart. And we're looking at the week of 4/24 through May 1st, but these are timeless. So if you're coming across these outside of that time frame, I'd still trust your intuition. And if your gut brought you here, I would still watch, because I'm sure there are messages for you. But if you are watching this during that week, we do have on April 30th, at the end of the month, the Taurus new moon, and it's bringing in some beautiful Venus energy for us. Venus rules over Taurus, of course. So there is this energy of rest, of self-love and self-nurturing, and that's what the Creator wants us to focus on for this week, is what energy, what area of your life could use some rest, could use some self-love, some self-nurturing. We're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Ask Your Guides Oracle. And as a side note, any of the cards I use are listed in the description box below. So if any of them pique your interest and you, like me, end up with over 100 Oracle decks, around 25 tarot decks, then you can definitely check those out in the description box. All right, so for our Geminis, what would you like them to know about this week, where they could use some rest, some self-love, and some nurturing, self-nurturing? This is your card right here. Yeah, creativity, your creativity guides, card number 37. So that is excellent. So you do have this creativity outlet that they're wanting you to focus on. And I kind of feel that you've been so busy investing so much time in everyone else and trying to have all these things that you think are supposed to, get done, all that to-do list. And they're actually saying change that from a to-do list to a could-do list, and make sure to add creativity, a creative project, whether that is painting or gardening, knitting, weaving, pottery, whatever creative outlet you love to do that brings you such joy and passion. This is the week in which to do it. Even like music, of course they have the music on here too. So whatever outlet helps that creativity flow within you, this is what they're wanting you to focus on there. This is about the energy of patience and practice and reevaluation and assessment. So your creativity guides are advising you that there's no way to avoid risk if you wish to live a creative life. Stop worrying about making right and wrong choices and view all of them as creative opportunities. Be glad you have the freedom to make choices at all, and realize that no matter what you choose, you will create something. If you don't like the result, then simply go back to the drawing board and make a new and hopefully better choice or different choice. Your creative guides remind you not to look at life in terms of black and white, me against you, all or nothing. You're a creative spirit regardless of what else is going on in your life. Assess your creations with appreciation and respect. Whether good, bad, or indifferent, they all reflect your creativity. So celebrate everything you enjoy and don't fret over the rest. See your less desirable creations as interesting rough drafts and follow your creativity guide's advice. Go back to the drawing board. So that is great. And I love that statement too, that every second you are creating, is that where you want to invest your energy and create? If it's, doing all these things you feel you have to just to meet expectations, I know how empty that feels and how boring that can be too. It's like if you're not living, that's existing, and this is about you getting back to living. We're also going to pull from these Power of Surrender cards, see what else the Creator wants you to know regarding this creativity in your life. All right. So for our Geminis, what else would you like them to know, please? Okay, that one right there. Yeah, surrender the stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to center. Yes, that is beautiful, because the stress comes from that to-do, the have-to-do list instead of the could-do list. There's all this, stress is like the root of stress, of course, is fear. And so we fear, what does it mean if we don't do all these things that we're supposed to do? And it's about making the list of everything that you want to do and all the mandatory things that you need to exist, and kind of just work that out on balancing this. I love the 37 too, keeps jumping out to me, because 3 + 7 is 10, which is endings and new beginnings. And I really feel like this stressful storm that you're in, it's about, especially with this being a energy of rest for this new moon coming up, this is like definitely endings and new beginnings for you. So I am loving how this is unfolding. We're also going to pull from the Tarot of the Divine, see what else they want you to know about this. And one more time. All right, there we go. So what else for our Geminis? What else would you like them to know, please? Okay, those are falling off there. And it's funny, I live in a kind of a lower level, and there's a little driveway outside my window, and this young kid just went by on his skating board and went back off there, and it got my attention, of course, because no one normally comes into the driveway of the house that I'm currently living with, a great friend of mine. And so I was like, oh my gosh, but I'm like, yes, get back to fun, get back to having fun, get back to the unexpected instead of all the, you shouldn't be in our driveway. It's like, no, enjoy that, have a blast, enjoy. All right, and then yep, they said there's at least one more here. Okay, there it is. All right, so let's take a look here. We'll start off with this one over here. And you do have the 5 of Wands. Wands is your passion, your drive, your ambition, your inspiration. It's your energy too. And so when the 5 of Wands, 5s are about this change of perspective, this change and movement. 5 is the number of change. And the energy here, you at first when you look at this, you're like, oh my gosh, these people are attacking him or attacking one another, and they're battling. And I always have this little kung fu movie that starts to play in my head, kind of looks like this in the beginning, where they all have these stabs here, and they're all fighting, and like, oh my gosh, what's going on? They're trying to, hurt one another. And eventually, in the movie in my head, 4 of them are laying down exhausted. The other one is standing in the middle, and he's barely standing on his own. And you're like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? And then they all bust out laughing. And you're like, what's happening? And they, put the stabs away. And then they all walk down the path to the Zen Buddhist monastery's meal hall. And you realize, oh, these were all monks that were actually not trying to harm one another, but they were actually helping each other improve their skills. And so this represents this change of energy from conflict to like movement, helping, loving, and giving and caring. And I kind of feel like this is that energy that's happening for you. Here's the struggle that you're having. The stress is the struggles, this conflict, trying to make things happen that you think are supposed to happen and should happen, instead of going with this beautiful flow of creativity in your life instead. And so you've been battling, trying to do all the things, that long list of things that need to be done for you to be lovable and acceptable and to fit in and not cause waves. And this is cause waves. Be yourself, express that beautiful creativity within you. Yeah, because here you have the Ace of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes. And this is a gift from the heavens, a gift from the Creator, from the universe. Because the Ace of Swords does two things. One, it allows you to connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm, which really represent Creator, creativity. And it also allows you to cut away the thoughts and beliefs that no longer serve you, those that have been bringing the stress, that have been making you feel limited and fallen and kind of trapped. I like the way they interpreted this, because it's like, here's this web that's holding you back, right? This is like blocking you. But as you cut away at all these things, you're able to pass through it and go on to the next stage, go on to the next place in your life. And this would be the new beginning too, right? With 7 and 3 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1, it's endings and new beginnings. So I love that coming in. Yes, more fives. So you have this 5. This pentacles, or coins as they call it in this deck, this is all about your worth and how you feel about who you are. You start off feeling like this, abandoned, out in the cold, starving, no shoes on, and you feel like the outside world has not brought you what you need, your sustenance. You're barely surviving, if that. That's that survival mode we talked about. But then you look up and you see this beautiful, beautiful stained glass window with all the pentacles in it. And you realize when you look up that that is where your source of everything comes from. This transformation, this change of how you perceive your worth, is that when you look outside of yourself to the humans, they, you know, and especially in times, you know, these last couple of years where there's kind of this mentality of lack, which this represents in, we're like, yeah, if we're going to depend on humans to bring us everything we need, we could fear lack and not having enough. But when we realize that the Creator of all things is the one who brings us what we need in each moment, we may not get everything we need in this moment for the rest of our lives, like billions of dollars, but we'll have enough for now. And, you know, trusting that the Creator has endless resources, is limitless, and the love that the Creator has for us is unconditional, no conditions. It allows our worth to just change to be not anything that you have to do to achieve and receive, but that just because of who you are lovable, and thus the Creator is going to bring you everything that you need in each moment. And that allows this stress to kind of relief a little bit as well. And then you have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is this beautiful card of moving to another level in spirituality. So really, with this creativity coming in here, when you are so much in your mind and not in your heart, then you definitely don't have this creativity flowing, because creativity comes like from our heart center or the spiritual side of our brain. You know, we have the left side of our brain, which is more the human, which is rooted in the fight or flight and the fear and the logic and all that, which of course, being an air sign, you totally understand that side. You're like, yes, exactly, the mind, logic, I love it. But the right side of our brain is the one that connects us to the spiritual world, the higher world, which is what this is really kind of guiding you to, is connecting that. The host that I'm staying with, that great friend I mentioned in the earlier in the reading, she creates these beautiful pieces of artwork, and that's her meditation. So when she's wanting to connect, she definitely gets in there and paints, and it just brings so much beautiful peace to her. But the works that she have are just so beautiful too, very abstract, and the colors and stuff. And so it's like moving and using your creativity. This helps you meditate. It helps you move to this higher level too. And it's the number 5. 5 and 5 and 5. So there is this change that's happening this week for sure. Yeah, and here you go. Here's the Tower. So this is definitely a change that's unfolding. And this message for you is not that this is destruction happening, but the tower has this beautiful story behind it, which I won't go into in this particular video. But it basically comes down to that whatever is happening in your life, it is unfolding for you. It's not happening to you. So with this change coming in this week, this change of your energy, this change of how you're valuing yourself, this change of looking higher and connecting with your creativity, this is for you. So when things are brought into our life or removed out of our life, it's because before we came down here, we did ask, these are all the fated events I want to experience, but in order for us to experience the next fated event, this one needs to be removed, and that's what's happening here. So that one can come in, one is removed to make the space for it. And I kind of feel like when I said that, they showed me the to-do list and showing that things getting erased off of that to-do list, and even the to-do is erased and could-do list, so that you are reevaluating what you're investing your energy in. So I really love that. We're also going to pull a card here from these Celebration of Love Oracle. And we'll see what else the Creator wants you to know. All right, so what else for our Geminis, please? Okay, that's the one right there. And you have transformation. Visions of Star Dolphin. So I love that. Transformation. Definitely that's what this is all about, right? This change is transformation. And let's take a look here and see what other energies, what other message comes with this. So this image celebrates the transformational journey of our lives, the uniqueness and individuality we all have. Our paths are different, but ultimately lead to the knowing that we are all one. So take an inventory of your gifts, your talents, your hobbies, and all that you love to do. This is hilarious. Commit to choosing one and creatively expand on it to become a positive, contributing factor for you and others. I'm not lying. It's right here. It says creativity. I love it. See it along the lines of part-time self-employment, opportunities for volunteering, or just to bring a little bit more joy into your life. And the special message for this is you are being inspired to honor and be grateful for the many gifts and talents the divine has given you. No matter how big or how little you perceive them to be, they are there. Find them and be joyfully grateful for them. That is hilarious. I just love it when I use different decks and the message comes so clearly for it. We're also going to pull your final cards here from these divine directions and just see what your final message for all you Geminis are for this week. So for our Geminis, what else would you like them to know? Okay, maybe you want to that one right there. What else? Okay, that one right there. And 1, 2, and 3. So they want those two. So let's start with this one that showed itself, which says signs. Your past loved ones are never far from you. Notice the signs they send you. And this is beautiful too, because I really feel when you go into this higher state, this meditative state, and expressing that creativity, that you feel the presence of your loved ones that have gone to the other side. And for some of you, I mean, this is a general reading, but I really feel like for a significant amount of you, this hobby that you have, this creativity that you do, you would do that with a loved one. And in doing those things, they're showing me like quilting, like you would sit there together and quilt, with your grandmother or mother or aunt or, uncle or whatever loved one it was, that there's this activity that you would do that on how you expressed your creativity, you would do that with them and make that a beautiful remembrance of them too. You can do that. Then you have your passion. Passion isn't confined to sexual energy. Life is meant to be felt. Don't hold back. Yeah, so this passion of yours, that thing, like it mentioned, brings joy into your heart. Reconnect with that. Yes, and then teach. You have a wonderful gift for working with others. Have you considered teaching? And so for some of you, if you've been doing a hobby and you've been doing this creativity and you kind of feel like you're at, that point where you're kind of almost bored with it, consider teaching. Like teach your children or a niece, a nephew, other individuals. It's like, and they're showing, coming to my mind, like teaching someone to sew. And, that was something that was very special to someone in their lives, is when someone spent time with you as a child teaching you to do that, or to knit, or to paint, or whatever it might be, working in the garden, and expressing this passion in that way not only, of course, ignites this next level of expressing this energy inside of you, it changes lives. The people that you spend time teaching those things to and investing in them, it is life-changing for them. It shows them how loved they are, and where they didn't feel special, they will feel special. So I love that. Yeah, positive. Enjoy this positive time. Smile. Know that everything is going well. Yeah, this, especially with this finances and worth and getting your sustenance, just trust that you're going to have everything you need in each moment. It may not be everything you want in each moment, but you will have everything you need in each moment. And then you have wait. Take time to think about the matter at hand. Don't be tempted to rush. This is that stress. When we live in the future thinking we have to have all this by this certain date, that's, that deadline. Call it the dread line instead of a deadline. Because we dread, what happens? Where's that fear? What happens if that doesn't happen? Chances are we're still going to be living. Our life may change, but we're going to be able to adapt, and we're going to be able to thrive still. It's letting a lot of that stress go, of all those to-dos and everything has to happen. When they're showing me I've got to have this job and this part-time job in order to be in this house, so that it's a large house and it has enough room, and blah, 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 where you might ask your family and go, hey, I know I'm always busy, and you're stressed, and you're not able to express yourself, and chances are they're feeling that stress, and you're coming, you're a little on edge. And so, if you're like, do you guys like this house? And they're like, we'd much rather have you home, and live in a smaller place, because you have all this ideas of these shoulds. And that's just an example. Of course, that's not going to apply to everyone, but they're just showing that type of example. You don't realize what people really want. You just have what you want in your head, and those supposed tos and shoulds and conditioning you've had, and you're projecting it out. But when you talk about everyone, you're like, this is what I would like. What do you guys want? And then you can come to this compromise when you have that responsibility with each other, and you can make these beautiful changes. So this is a week of change for you, but it's, again, happening for you, not to you. Don't be afraid. It's time to live and not just exist. So I love this for you, Geminis. If you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out monthly readings for each zodiac sign and a few other types of videos. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those messages and to be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up, click this like button. Also click the subscribe button. That gives you access to this notification bell. And when you go in there, if you select the all option, then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love, because when you like a video or you share a video, you comment on a video, or you subscribe to a channel, those things make the YouTube algorithm so excited it wants to share the videos of that channel with other people. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I am truly grateful for that. Also, these are general readings, and if you are in a place where you are seeking even more specific information for your specific life, I currently do offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box below. All right, beautiful Geminis, as you go throughout this amazing changeable week, please know every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you hang in there and you take care.